What do you think allowed you guys to pull away at the end?
We were able to get some stops towards the end of the game, and that's the key to the game for us is, contesting shots, rotating. They had a ton of guys just, playing well, playing free, playing fast, and those are tough games to win. And I spoke to the team about it. Coming off a road trip, different time zone, I can make all the excuses in the world, but the fact of the matter is that we gutted it out, and we got to win against a scrappy team.
Yeah, it seemed like every time you looked up in the fourth quarter, Larry was dunking. How significant was he tonight for you guys?
Larry has been huge for us all season. Tonight, much of the same. We playing him down the stretch of games, putting the ball in his hands a bit in some of our actions and just allowing him to make reads. And then his ability to dive and finish, but then on the defensive end to switch multiple screens. So it helps us.
And Beyonce's been out for a while now. What did you think he looked like in his first game back?
Good to have him back, honestly. We needed his production tonight, especially with the minutes that I've been playing CJ and Trey and Naji and a lot of those guys. So he picked up some slack for us, and we needed him, and good to have him back. He, a little rusty, but he'll be fine.
And just what do you think about the way just all season Jose and Larry just kind of have been bringing the energy every time they check in with that bench unit?
They've been great. Both of those guys, they play fast, they play hard, they play together, and it's huge to have Larry, Jose, but even Trey, Naji, Dyson when he plays. It's good to have that kind of depth.
Larry told us, I think during media day, that after the summer he felt like he was jumping higher, like his knee just felt so much better. How much different does he look to you than the guy you saw in April and May?
Well, if tonight is any evidence of his knee feeling well, he definitely was jumping higher tonight. No, Larry, he's getting better and better as the season progresses, and I'm playing him more and more because of his production.
We saw, I think Zion came out a little bit earlier in the third quarter than normal, and then it looked to us as if he axed out. What about 3 minutes left? Was everything okay with him?
I'm not sure what's going on. I'll check after we finish up here, but I don't know.
Coach, with a lot of guys out for Golden State, you knew that Poole was going to look for his looks, but Herb Jones and Jose Alvarado did a great job. I'm not sure what he ended up shooting from the floor, but what do you think of their defensive performances?
They did a great job trying to wear him down. Like you said, he's going to get his shots. He's going to take his get his looks. But Herb, Jose, the rest of the guys, we had to have eyes on him. With his ability to handle the ball, shoot threes, but then he's coming off a ton of pin downs and DHOs and things like that, and he doesn't stop moving. So he plays a lot like Steph, and you just you can't let your guard down.
Coach, it looked like even from the opening tip, Herb Jones was getting to initiate the offense more. He got to bring the ball up. But there were a couple of plays he was just not on the same page. Do you attribute that to rust or just him getting used to the role?
A little bit of rust, not playing the last 3 or so games. But yes, Herb will have the ball at times, initiating plays, relieving Brandon and CJ, Zion, and then we can have some movement from there. But I thought he did a really good job defensively. He and Brandon both are knocking off some rust.
Coach, y'all play Wii basketball, 0.5, share it, move it. There was a stretch to open the game where I guess Zion didn't get a touch and you called a timeout and the play was run for Zion. How do you sort of balance sharing the ball and attacking in a way that I guess everyone has an equal chance versus making sure you are also taking advantage of scorers like Zion?
Well, it's a part of our foundation offensively. We score mentality. There's times where we get a little stagnant, especially when teams are switching. That's what it's meant to do, kind of make you ISO. But when we feel it, when we see it, we show it on film. We continue to work on it, and it's something that we talk about constantly as a team, passing up good shots to get great ones. Just so happens he didn't touch the ball early in the game, so we ran a play to get him going.
Do you sometimes feel like it's challenging to try to get, Zion, Brandon, and CJ quality shots and equal shots? I know Zion probably only had, 11 shot attempts tonight. Do you feel like it's a challenge?
No, it hasn't been a challenge at all, and that's a credit to Zion, a credit to Brandon, CJ. All three of those guys are willing passers, and over throughout the course of the game, they have times where they're attacking and they're aggressive, and they have times where they just make the right play, and that's to the next guy. So it hasn't been a problem. I think we'll actually continue to get better as we progress throughout the season.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. You clowns.
What a save by Matt Ryan.
What a gentleman.
I think I counted 7 dunks tonight. Just how bouncy are you feeling right now?
No, I feel great. I told you guys. I told you guys at the start. I'm back healthy. It's been a long time, and that little meniscus, I didn't realize how much it was bothering me. So I feel great. But again, my job was easy today. Those guys got it to me in all the right spots, and all I had to do was just make the layup, make the dunk. So.
Yeah, I mean, the times we've talked to you, you've mentioned, hey, look, I've had 8 head coaches in 8 years. Like, you're going to be here for a few years. It's going to be the same head coach. Just how comfortable are you feeling in this situation?
I feel great. I feel like this type of role is what I've been looking for a while. Closing games as a switchable 5 that if you need to play through me, you can play through me. If you need me to space, I can space. If you need me to make the low man, the weak side defender scared to jump, I can do that. So, I feel like I'm very thankful to be in the situation, and hopefully we can just keep building.
Yeah, you mentioned being part of those closing lineups. Obviously, some guys have been in and out of the lineup, but just what have you thought about just the execution with that closing unit when y'all start doing switches on everything and all that kind of stuff?
No, it's great. It's great. Our communication is great. Guys have been very vocal with that. Our execution offensively has been great. Obviously, having BI out there helps. Just he's a decent player. So it helps quite a bit. But these, again, like I said before, all right, the rest of our job is pretty easy. Those having unselfish stars is what makes this all click.
And Willie also talked about just the way when you, Jose, and Trey come in, just the energy shifts in a lot of these games. How much are you sensing that when that bench unit comes in, you are able to make an immediate impact?
No, that's something we consciously focus on. That's something, when Jose checks in, whoever the first off the bench is, that's the first thing we say to each other is, hey, pace, let's go. Because, that's our job is to come in and flip the game on its head. Coaches and teams normally have a set rotation, right? Like, hey, in 6 minutes, this guy's coming out, this guy's coming in, this guy's coming out, this guy's coming in, and so on and so forth. Our job as the second unit is to make you bring your stars back in as quick as possible. Shorten their breaks so that when we get in the fourth quarter, they're just worn down and tired. So that's our whole goal. Naji knows it, Trey knows it, Devonte, Jose, Jax, whoever's in there in that unit. Our whole job is run the brakes off that second unit. So they got to bring their stars back. So our stars go against their second unit, and now they're in a world of hurt.
Has there been you've had a few really nice posters so far. Has there been a moment or a dunk where you felt in game, okay, I'm back to where I was?
Yeah, there was the one in Utah, one against Utah. It was CJ threw me it was right in the middle where I just kind of caught it, pop and turned and dunked it. That to me was, just like, it wasn't really even on anybody, but just the ability to fire like that was like, oh yeah, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. So now that that's on film, I'd have to imagine I'll be getting a few more uncontested ones now.
So Larry, let's talk about that guy. BI in his return, 26-5-5. Didn't look like he missed 4 games, did it?
I mean, does it ever look like he's? I didn't know he had 26-5-5. It's not bad. No, I mean, BI is just feels like he's in cruise the whole time, but his cruise is just at such a high level. He's never sped up. Feels like he's always in control of whatever's going on, and very rarely gets. I guess sped up would be the word, but he's just so poised all the time.
And we, of course, always talk about his scoring, and we can see it. But tonight, I thought his passing really stood out. Trey seemed to get 2 threes, and that ball movement, and you were the recipient of a couple of dunks. Just how important and vital is that for you guys?
Again, this whole thing works. We're very, very fortunate. You can look across the league, and I think you'd be hard pressed to find stars that are as unselfish as ours. Z loves to pass. He wants to get us shots as bad as he wants them himself. CJ,
he'll get off the ball. BI, as unselfish as could be, and looks for us. So, again, that makes our job, the rest of us, it makes our job really easy when you've got guys that attract so much attention, have so much gravity on the basketball court that are willing to use themselves as a decoy. It's how basketball should be played.
We've seen you, obviously, with the jersey donate or the auctions for local schools. We see you wearing the shirt here. We know, I know that was something you did in Cleveland as well with a lot of local restaurants. Why is that so important to you to use your platform as you can to give back to these communities in the ways that you do, especially with the shirts and things like that?
So, I was born into a fortunate situation. My dad played in the NBA, and I never had to want for too much. Which again, you can take that and use as, why would I ever have to worry about anything? But for me, it's I'm just very fortunate and grateful to have been able to not have to want for things. So, in communities that, like again, Cleveland was home for me, and during the pandemic, small businesses were getting crushed, and I look forward 28, 29 years of my life, and again, I sit fortunate and just want to make sure that other people are able to have some of the resources that I'm fortunate enough to have an abundant amount of. And so, we got here in New Orleans, and me and my wife picked the school district right away. And that's something that needs a little bit of love, needs some attention, and needs a champion in the community. And we got with Dr. Avis Williams, the superintendent of schools, and got a laundry list of items that these schools need. Again, maybe a drinking fountain for one. I can't exactly remember what tonight's list was, but we've got 4 or 5 things that I believe the jersey sold. I believe it was around $1,200 tonight, which is terrific, which is $2,400 for various fixes throughout the school, which again, that's, the government isn't doing their job, for some of these schools. So that's a big deal for a lot of them, and it's something I'm going to continue to do. And again, like I keep saying, this is just a start, and hopefully I'm here for a few more years. We've got more programs currently underway and in the works.
Larry, looking at the message before the game, knowing the Warriors had a few people out, what was the message from Willie Green before the game? And did the tone change maybe at the end of that third quarter when there was actually a run and you put some distance between yourself and the Warriors?
Yeah, these are, and all of this, first and foremost, is zero disrespect to anybody on that roster, because they gave us a hell of a fight tonight, and they're all NBA players in their own right. But, there's something to be said when you play the Warriors. You know what to expect. And then you read, like, Steph, Clay, Dre, Wiggins. So, all right, well, are we playing the Warriors? It's easy to, lower yourself. And, again, no disrespect to anybody on the roster, because they gave us a hell of a fight. But, it's easy to let yourself get a little bit, all right, let your energy change. All right, well, now I don't have to chase Steph, so I don't have to be as locked in. And that's what you have to fight against. And, to their credit, they did a terrific job of, again, Ty Jerome shot it really well, 18 points. Obviously, Jordan Poole does what Jordan Poole does, but Kuminga 18, Anthony Lamb 16. These guys are, they stepped up and played their roles really well. And so, but yeah, there was a flip. There was a switch that flipped, and I think you could see the sense of urgency change when, we they punched us in the mouth in that third quarter and was like, oh, we're in a game, and I'm proud of the way we responded.
Zion, like yourself, took off tonight. It seems like you cleared the runway for him, playing a little bit of defense. When you see something like that happen in a game, do you get lost in it?
Yeah, if that timeout wasn't called, I wasn't playing any defense. No. It's true. When he, again, like you say, yeah, I'm sitting there trying to hold my guy back, just making sure don't go do anything stupid. Let's just watch this. And of course, he's as explosive as you could ever design a player to be. So when he gets a runway like that, all you can do is just watch in awe. And again, like I said, the timeout needed to be called, because the arena was going nuts. We were going nuts. I'm sitting there raising the roof. They could have been at the basket for a layup. I really wouldn't have cared. just a good moment for him. That's probably what was that one of the first of the year for him that we really saw him, get up. So, hopefully that made him feel a little sigh of relief. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Cool. Thanks, guys. If y'all made me miss the bus, you got to pay my fine. No problem.
I would say something crazy, but I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it, but.
How's the melon?
Feel good. It was a little weird being around so many people after 12 days, but my head feel good. I feel good. No recurrent symptoms from the night, so I'm ready to keep going.
What were you experiencing after you got knocked in the head?
Everything. Sensitivity to light. Just constant headaches. Just irritable being around different people. But I was able to get through it. It was super boring, but I was able to watch my team play and see them get a couple wins and just continue to be in contact with the guys.
How much did it help your team having a center in Larry Nance who you can throw on the floor and switch all screens and just have that different look defensively?
Larry's been big for us since last year in the playoffs against Phoenix, and he's starting to get his legs back under him. And he's been really, really aggressive around the rim. You can see the confidence in this little floater. Him shooting behind the line, him shooting in a little mid-range area. So I've been impressed by what he's been doing, and he's been pretty consistent with it.
Yeah, you mentioned just not being around people, not being able to work out. Just what were you able to do just to get back in the flow immediately?
Well, I'm still trying to get back in the flow. Timing was a little off today. My decision making was a little slow, and on the defensive end, I wasn't great at all today. So I'm still getting it back. The last 2 or 3 days, I was able to get in the gym a little bit and go through my protocol and trying to get back. But I'm continuing to try to get back and get a feel.
Yeah, we've seen the numbers. When that starting unit is out there, the injuries have prevented y'all from working out as much. But what do you like when you see y'all 5 out there together?
Really good. It's not just offensively. We feed off our defense to try to make our offense go. So we get stops, we rebound the basketball, and there's so many different guys that can do different things, whether it's on the wing, whether it's Zion in the post, JV in the post, CJ doing everything on the basketball floor, Trey, whoever. You can name a lot of people that can do some stuff on the floor. So playing defense and rebounding, it starts our offense.
Do you have anything to say to Naji after
Nah, that's my guy. We said maybe I said a couple things that I can't say in the media. I saw that he kept doing it though. I seen him hit Torrey Craig in the face with an elbow. Just a wild boy.
We've seen Larry, obviously. That starting group has been really good, but I think when you swap out Larry for JV, that group has also been really good. Just what have you kind of seen from Larry so far? Who seems like he's healthy right now?
Yeah. I think what I'm seeing is him being healthy is a beautiful thing for the Pelicans. Him being able to, and having the urgency to switch out on the defensive end and also get back into the play and rebound the basketball. That's something big for our team. Him being able to hit that little mid-range shot, roll through the pocket and finish, and set really, really good screens for our guards. That's a positive for our team.
Brandon, we know how much you like to be on a basketball court, but how did it feel to get all that love from your teammates? Like, I noticed you in pregame warm-ups, what was it, Trey and Jose were dancing around you a little bit. Willy and you were shooting some corner threes, and he was, playful with you. And then I saw Jonas put his arm around you when you guys were shooting layups and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's a family, This is what we've been doing, starting from last year, getting to know each other and bringing CJ along and bringing Larry along, which I already had a relationship with him, but that's who we are. And they definitely integrated me back in a really, really positive way, continuing to communicate with me throughout the game, before the game, making sure that I was confident and comfortable. So they made it easier for me tonight.
And Brandon, while they were away on that road trip, did they reach out to you almost on a daily basis, texting, DMing, back and forth, all that type of stuff?
Oh yeah, it's constant. It's everyday thing, probably every 2-hour thing, with everybody on social media and sending different stuff into a group chat and people checking on each other, They were out in LA for 8 days, 6 days or something, so, that group chat had to be something crazy. So they checked up on me a lot. They checked up on me just to see how I was doing. CJ is the one that's going to ask me when I'm coming back every single day. But everybody did a check-in.
Yeah, in that third quarter, you went on a little bit of a run. Was that more something the Warriors were showing you schematically, or just you deciding this game's going to be over, I'm the best player on the court?
More of me just, I wasn't feeling like I was playing hard enough. I feel like I needed to make something happen, but just not me. I knew I had other good players on the floor, so it got easier when I started making quick decisions and driving and kicking, being aggressive with my shot, trying to get to the free throw line. Tripped a couple at the free throw line tonight, but I was happy to see some go in and kind of get a rhythm and make some good passes for my teammates.
Last question.
There were a couple of actions where the team sort of emptied out a side of the floor for you and Zion. There was one, I think, where Zion set a screen for you. What kind of pressure does that put on the defense when they have to choose between you two? And I know it's only been a handful of games, but how do you feel your chemistry's coming along?
It's still coming along. I'm still kind of trying to figure out where is the easiest way to get Zion some open looks. But it's hard to switch a 4-man on me or a 5-man, and it's hard to switch a 2 or a 3 onto Zion. So it's all good action. It depends on what our other teammates are doing also. We can't be just a focal point on the offense. We definitely got to make sure that we integrate our teammates and try to make the best pass on the basketball floor. But us in the pick and roll, I'm pretty positive about us scoring or making a good play in it.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Always have that location on, huh?